Thank you to anybody that shows up. But let's see. I'm trying to find like keep this live stream going, but find pictures of Pike while I'm doing this. Let's see. I want his head more kind of tilted. And anytime you're doing these layers, you kind of want to get a little bit more detailed as you go along. I think I want to have them a little bit closer to each other. But at the same time, I kind of like this distance. I like this pose. I like this pose, though. I'll keep it like this. You don't want to force the drawing to be something it's not. So yeah, Cody, I'm gonna actually start getting a little bit more into the form and just kind of making it take shape a little bit more. But yeah, Cody is a bigger dude. He's in prison and he's like one of the strongest dudes in prison. So you'd imagine he lifts weights. He's got to be strong. Now Daredevil, he's not really a boxer, but he's the son of a boxer. And a lot of his physical fitness just kind of comes naturally to him. And he does these really insane stunts, thus being known as Daredevil. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna dial into Cody a bit more. I think that'll help. Just one character at a time. So now the thing about Cody is initially he's kind of fighting for justice like any other vigilante. But after a while, he doesn't feel that he's the hero and he just kind of does it for the love of the game. He just likes to fight. I don't like how these eyes are. They're a little too kind of anime-esque, and I know this is a Japanese game initially, but I don't like how I drew this one. So I'm gonna change his face as I go along. But as long as he looks like Cody as it progresses, that's all that matters. Now, Cody's kind of got, let me see, kind of not really a bowl cut, but he's kind of got like this short hair, and then he's kind of got like these protruding bangs in the front. And I think I'm gonna separate half of it. So like the bangs will kind of come out right here. He's a pretty boy on the low, so that's kind of taking shape. That's starting to look like Cody. So let's see. And in the original games, he's got like a t-shirt and jeans. It's the most American, like it's so just obviously American of a character. But let's see. But in the Street Fighter games, especially like Street Fighter Alpha and beyond, he's got the prison jumpsuit. It takes place after Final Fight 3, I think, when he like goes to prison. So he's just and he fights in his prison uniform. He breaks out of prison when he gets bored, and he just fights in his prison getup. So let's see. I think I'll kind of try to draw the crotch down here. The leg will probably be out, and this leg will be out too. Drawing muscles is weird. I'm gonna try to like define like the ab area. Let's see, this doesn't look right to me though. I'm gonna pretend I know basic anatomy. I'm just gonna pretend. But see, I feel like the chest could be bigger. But you see, you see, I'm starting to get the form. I don't like how his form is right now. Let me try to bring in the knife. That might help. And these will probably just change as I go along, but I don't like how calm he looks either. This seems like it's supposed to be a lot more intense of a fight scene, so we'll just kind of keep that in mind as we go along. We'll change it and try to do these cuffs. It's a very rough sketch, so bear with me. But let's see. Oh, that's a decent start to Cody. Let me see. If I were Daredevil and I had my arm out like this, let's do a little bit of a rough sketch here. I'm gonna have his arm going straight down, kind of like that, and we're just gonna imply a fist here. And then I actually want this to kind of wind in a bit. So like I want it to have a little bit of motion. Yeah. This will be interesting. This will be a lot of action going on here. So yeah, he's got that range of motion, and then it kind of comes down. Let's see. That's interesting. I want his arm a little higher up though. Like I don't think you just be holding the bottom of a pipe like that. So let's bring his arm in like that. I'm gonna click E to erase. Mm, I don't like his arm placement. Like, let's see. I think his arm should be raised a little bit. A lot of trial and error. That's what the art process is. See, I feel like I'm already liking this right here. Maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like I need a prop. Is if I had like my ruler with me, that would be sick. I know y'all wouldn't be able to see it, but all right. So let's see. He's swinging a pipe. So let's see if you got a knife, and then I wish y'all could like see what I'm doing right now. I look so goofy, but it's part of the process. Oh my gosh, this is gosh. Okay, so I think I want his arm to be kind of brought in a little bit. Oh, this is difficult. I'll leave Cody alone for right now, and then I'll go on to Daredevil. So I'm gonna make a new layer, and I also kind of want Daredevil's face to be tilted inward. And these two characters, they really do like to fight. Like Daredevil is a bit more serious and about justice. He's a lawyer and everything, but you know, he also enjoys to fight. But like I said, he's a bit more justice oriented, whereas Cody is just doing it for the love of the game. Like there could be no justice involved in somebody like he would not back down from a fight. He wants to fight you. So yeah, I'm gonna get that neck, no homo, and just kind of bring that in. Let's see. And then let's see. Okay, so his fist is here. I really like how dynamic that is. And we're gonna just go with that fist. Since Daredevil's looking good, we'll probably just try to build this piece around him and just kind of make Cody fit to his parameters. And yeah, and like some of the other Daredevil like the live action Netflix show, it's a Disney Plus show now, but the originally the Netflix show, it didn't really utilize his cane too much. I think he had weapons outside of the cane, but I feel like the cane is really important, especially in like the older Daredevil comics, because it's how he does some of his stunts, like just vaulting from a pole or something like that, just catching weapons with his weapons. It and plus he's we know he's blind as the viewers. Like realistically, it probably wouldn't, be as cool as it is, but this is a comic. So, I like the cane. So I'm gonna, keep it in here. But let's see. The chest should probably be over to the left a bit more, so I guess I'll do that. And let me make sure my chat is accurate. I'm trying to see. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna curve that in a little bit. I'm gonna try to kind of make his chest pop out a little bit more. And then he's kind of got this dynamic pose, so the arm's kind of gonna go inward and then outward. It'll probably like go behind his chest actually, so it's kind of weird. I have to work from like behind this cane, but yeah, little. I feel like the ear could be closer, maybe higher up, something. His ear really shouldn't be too prominent since he's wearing a mask, so I guess I'll keep that in mind. Control. Oh, well, actually, yeah, just press OK. Okay, so we're gonna kind of flesh out his face a little bit, and I want him to look serious, but like he's enjoying this at the same time. And he doesn't really need any pupils because he's got the mask, and I don't think his mask doesn't really need anything to see out of. And sometimes they like even draw it as like those kind of comic-esque, like white, um, like no pupil eyeball, if that makes sense. Kind of like if you ever seen those like kind of anime looking Ninja Turtles, they'll kind of have a similar thing. All right, so let's see. I think his jawline can be a little bit cleaned up. Let's see if I could just like, yeah, that looks better. That looks better. And we're just kind of tightening up some stuff. I think I want to give him a little bit of a smirk. Like, yeah, I got you. I think Daredevil is starting to look well, but I feel like, hold on. All right. Jamal's gonna drop his link in the chat, so if y'all could check him out later, I'd appreciate y'all helping out the homie. But yeah, thanks for the compliment on the drawing too. It's getting there. It's getting there. Hopefully, I can finish this off in a timely manner, but we'll see. All right, I think Daredevil is getting there. I think Cody needs a little bit more love, so I'm gonna control. Maybe I should merge all these. I'm gonna put them all in a folder, and then let's see. Uh, three. All right, yeah, yeah. Cody is like getting there, but not as much as Matt is. So something about the placement of his pipe, I don't like. I like everything else, but the way he's swinging his pipe is not. I don't like that. So let's see. I know I should probably like tighten up the overall form, but I want to get into his face. So let's make him a little bit more aggressive looking. Let's see. And then I'm gonna lower his eyes a bit because Cody has to look like he doesn't care. I also want to kind of have him squinting a bit. I'm gonna flesh out his nose just ever so slightly so that it's not just like this, just basic nose. And then he's also gonna be grinning. Like Cody is gonna grin. He's loving this. Yeah, I think that's a bit better too. I think his eye on the left side is a little bit low, so I'm gonna raise that up a bit. Yeah, that's better. It's the slight details, and that'll make the drawings go from you know decent to amazing. Not to say that I'm an amazing artist or anything by any means, but I try. I try. Let's see. Let me erase that. I don't like how this jawline is going. Let's see. I'm gonna shrink this just a bit, or I picked the wrong brush. And I kind of want his chin to be a little bit rounded, not like a classic Superman kind of round. Yeah, this is looking like Cody. This is starting to look like Cody. If I could just get the placement of his hype That would be phenomenal. Yeah, the raised eyebrow is everything right now. I might even have his eye kind of bucking a bit. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But see, okay, so I'm looking at it. Sometimes you gotta look at it from a singular scope. Something about this looks right. But when I zoom out in this pose, I don't like it. Let's see. Mm, I think the pose, something about the pose is really getting me. The face, I think he needs to like lean in a bit more. Like he's kind of lunging at him. Oh, you know what? What if I brought his arm just straight down, right? And have him lean to the other side. Bear with me for a second. So let me do another layer. Please be aware of your layer placement because I know this is going to kill me later, but let me turn this layer off actually. Ew, no, his hair. I needed that. I'll turn it back on in a sec, but let's say that I did this. Just okay. Hmm. I'm gonna actually do it in the other layer. So let's say that I bring this to this side and have the chest more facing this direction. And then I'd have to change like the collarbones. Maybe I do know a little bit of anatomy, but yeah, I think that's starting to look better actually. And then the the shoulder will kind of lean into the chest a little bit. It'll kind of smush off the chest, and then it's a downward motion, so it'll kind of flex. Um, I guess but these aren't traps. Definitely the tricep, right? And so let's see. We'll bring that forearm in, and I'll tighten this up in a sec. But and the purpose of that, besides it just kind of looking nice, I can put a fist down here, and then the pipe could like extend down here, right? So now it has a more of a range of motion. It's almost like he's bringing down like a sword or something like that. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that. But let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll go with that. We'll fix that up as we go along, but I think that's a much better pose. Or at least it fits better. And I might not even have him holding the knife. I might just have him like I might have him twirl the knife actually. Cause say if I like had the hand here and I'm just gonna do like a rough drawing of a hand or something like that. And then I had like the knife and it was like twirling. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool because then it'll kind of lead from his arm going down here up to his arm going up here. I think that'd be cool. So we might try that. We might try that. Let me actually get this folder, and just in case I want to go back to its original size, I'll duplicate the folder and turn it off. And then I'm gonna shrink this folder, Command T, and just make everything a little bit smaller. I know they're the focal point of this, but we do want to leave some room for the background, and I do want to kind of have his arm stretch out over here. So, all right, so oh, this is looking cool already. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with this. So, for anybody that's just popping in or whatever, we're drawing Daredevil versus Cody, Street Fighter versus Marvel. And like I said earlier, ironically, neither of these guys has been in a Marvel versus Capcom. I don't think they had the rights to Daredevil like once it went to Disney, so they couldn't use him. And then Cody, I actually don't know why he's never been in the game. I could be mistaken, but I don't remember him being in an MVC game. Hey, maybe that there's a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 they might add him, but since we got this new Tokon coming out, that might not be likely. So yeah, we're gonna kind of fix him up a little bit more, and I'm gonna try to do the knife thing. Wrong layer. I, I'm going to lose every last one of these layers because I forgot where I put them. So matter of fact, let me merge this with this layer. Command E or Control E. I'm on I'm on an Acer computer, it's Microsoft, so I'm gonna erase. And thanks again to anybody who's like, showing up and watching the stream. I really appreciate it. Let's see. And I'm gonna bring his arm out a little bit. It's almost like he's gonna be poised to strike. I'm gonna bring this bicep out a little bit more. I really hate drawing the where the bicep, the forearm, like not the forearm, but the bicep to like the armpit where like that connection is because it's really weird. And this is gonna be an interesting piece just for the fact that I don't have a reference for these. Like I'm looking up how they look, but in terms of the poses, I'm just making stuff up as I go. So let's see. So I feel like there's gonna be some form of, let me see, his he's gonna be kind of rooted right here. This is kind of where he's taking that firm stance. And let me see, I'm gonna have to get up and pose for it. So okay. So there's gonna kind of be this pinch right here. Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting freaking. Okay. So we're gonna bring that down. I just need somebody to hit this pose. I need to see how accurate slash inaccurate this would look. All right, and then I kind of want to have his arm go from here to here, and then I think I want to have him spinning the knife. Maybe, let me see. I'm gonna grab this, Control T, and then twist it. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit more direct. There we go. I think I like that. And then I'm gonna hit P twice to select my brush. I'm gonna kind of have his hand coming out. I can like twirl a drumstick, but I can't really twirl a knife. I mean, I could, but I don't have a knife with me, and that'd be kind of dangerous. The last thing I want to do is cut my hand while I'm doing this stream. So let's see. I'm trying to kind of get a feel. Let me get the shape of the hand. And then I feel like it'd kind of be between like two fingers. And then two fingers would be like downward, right? And then if I had the knife, I'm gonna probably look up a better knife, but I don't know how I feel about him twirling it now. No, no, I kind of like the motion. I kind of like the motion. Okay, this is getting somewhere. This is like actually looking kind of cool. Let's see. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna start separate. Yeah, look at how it started on the Cody end of things, and then look where we got to. So I think there's a lot of action going on with this. Let's get back to Daredevil right quick. So let's see. I think I'm gonna merge some of these Cody layers. Control E. There's the background. All right, so I'm gonna lower the opacity for the Daredevil layer. All right, and I think Daredevil's looking a little small, so I'm gonna actually go and just go all around and select everywhere his kind of hand and stuff is. I'm gonna Control C it so I don't mess nothing up, and then Control V to paste and just transform. I'm gonna have to change that up a bit. Let me hit OK. Tone that down. All right, all right, all right, all right. So let me move that around some more. He still looks a little small. He looks a little small. So let me keep, enlarging it. And I kind of like this. Matter of fact, let me put him kind of next to him just so I can reference, like have some form of reference. So, all right, now they look about the same size. I don't want his head to be too much bigger than Cody's, especially since he's on the kind of far side. Because he would look slightly smaller if Cody is closer. So let me lower that a bit. And I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. Control D to deselect. And there's a few things that I need to tighten up with Daredevil, right? So I'm going to start a new layer, zoom in, and I think I need to tilt his head just a little bit more. And I know I've like traced over this like 3 times already, but that's kind of how it goes. So let me start off with the nose. I need to flesh out his nose just a little bit more. Maybe add like, yeah. All right, and then, yeah. I'm going to bring down those brows a little bit. And since these aren't technically his eyes, I don't have to like do any like squinting or anything. This is part of his mask. So yeah, this is a cool thing. You can kind of see the way, I do my art process and make my art. I'm gonna give him like this little brow ridge, I guess I can call that. But yeah. And I'm just kind of, dialing in the head, just making it look a little bit more accurate, just cleaning it up a bit. And I'm gonna flip it right quick just so I have like a different perspective. That helps me out a lot. I feel like it's kind of like a right brain, left brain thing when you can have them symmetrical on both sides, visually appealing to both sides, then you have a nice piece. So, that's my little personal tip to anyone who draws, and I think I'm gonna bring this in a little bit more. It's kind of like this kind of Batman-esque mask. Daredevil is really kind of Batman, but with a few extra superpowers and less money. I rather be Batman because at the end, I kind of like that grin on Daredevil. It feels slightly out of character, but I don't know. I'll leave it for right now, though. All right, I like the tilt on the neck. All right, and let's see. We're gonna have that go down a little bit. And something about this isn't connecting right. So his chest should be kind of popping upwards, but I don't think it should be that far out if he's facing that way. Let me see. I'm gonna do like a little S shape. Yeah, I feel like this kind of direction right here is a bit more on point. So I'll try to fit it around that X. So the chest will kind of be like right here-ish. It'll kind of stop right there. I think that's better. I don't know. Uh, something seems off. I don't know what it is about this pose, but something seems very off. Also, the hand, the hand would kind of be going more to like Cody's direction. Let's see. My bros in the chat, man said Batman superpower as well. He ain't lying though. He ain't lying. What's up, bro? What you think about the piece so far? Let me zoom out. This is what we got going so far. I'm just kind of cleaning stuff up, but Let's see. I think the chest should be right there. Kind of like how this is going. Yeah, yeah. And then I'll just kind of bring that back down. I'm just gonna pretend I know where these muscles go, by the way. You just kind of have to fake it till you make it. So I kind of like that because it's kind of like Daredevil's kind of got this lean to him. Cody's kind of leaning in, so I'll probably like just keep that going now. In a minute, probably more like 60 minutes, but in a bit, I'm gonna do the background. And I was trying to think of what I'd do for this background. Most likely these two would be fighting in New York. I can't imagine Daredevil fighting too many places outside of New York unless it's like a global crisis, which hardly ever happens with Daredevil because what is Daredevil realistically gonna do in a global crisis? Um, but there is one setting. It's a famous, well, not famous, but it's a really iconic like battleground in the Final Fight series that takes inspiration from New York. Can y'all guess where that location is? It's like the biggest landmark in New York, if not in the US. I'll give y'all a sec while I do this. All right. So, and then I'm gonna bring his forearm down a little bit. Oh, geez, that looks weird. Let me see. I think, yeah, the forearm would kind of stop right about here. It'd curve in a bit. And then there'd be some foreshortening on those muscles, but and then I'm gonna bring his arm out a little bit. And then I'm gonna shrink this just for the fact that his arm is not gonna, fit on the page if I do this. Hey, thanks, thank you. Yeah, he said you only seen him in New York. Yeah, like most of the superheroes, they usually fight in New York, and they're usually fighting because they love New York. And that's kind of how Daredevil's thing is. I don't see him fighting anywhere outside of New York. Now, Cody, he'll take the fight to anywhere. Like I said, he does this for the love of the game. He does not care. Like he starts off a noble kind of vigilante dude, but it's kind of like a Goku thing. It's like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, but it's also fun. Like, let's see, but yeah, the location that they share between them in Metro City and New York is the Statue of Liberty. And I don't know if they have the Statue of Liberty in Metro City because it is based on New York, but Cody has definitely fought in front of the Statue of Liberty. So I think that'll be my background is the Statue of Liberty. This is going to be a New York centric fight. And I'm just going to make up some lore since this is this is my piece. Cody has broken out of prison to, help one of his friends and Daredevil has a conflict of interest. He just knows that there's an escapee in New York, probably wreaking havoc. So now they have to fight. Even though neither one of them is necessarily the bad guy, this would be a reason why they would fight. So we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. All right. So let me flip this again. All right. So I think I'm gonna finish his fist first, right? I'm gonna shrink it a little bit just so everything fits on the page. Control T. And then I'm going to move it over a little bit more. All right, all right, all right. And then I'm going to finish off his fist. And then I might sketch it one more time or I might go into the background. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to sketch it one more time or if y'all want me to go ahead and start on the background. I can do either or. All right, so let me see. His fist would kind of like curve in just a little bit, I feel like. And then just kind of ball it up right there. Get his thumb. And that's more or less that's decent. That's decent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So I kind of like the looseness of it too. I might lean into that. And since Cody's like kind of like the Street Fighter 4 character, he comes in before that, but Street Fighter 4 has got like these loose brush strokes. So I might lean into that. But